Rose, roll call?
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
Magistrate Anderson?
Here.
Magistrate Johnson is ill. Magistrate Murphy?
Here.
Magistrate Robinson is not here. Magistrate Dotson?
Here.
And Magistrate Varney.
Here.
Leo, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? All right, the presentation by the Pike County Youth Leadership Council.
First, I would like to thank the court for their time this evening. This is an issue that we've been working on all year and last year, and we like that our issue is being vindicated. My name is Ishwar Soma, and I'm representing the Pike County Youth Leadership Council. And this council represents all of the high schools in Pike County, including Pikeville. And we are here today to propose an ordinance that bans smoking in all public places in Pike County. This smoking ban will only prevent smoking within indoor public buildings, such as restaurants, shopping malls, or recreational areas. This ban will still allow smoking in indoor private areas, such as people's homes. This ban will make it so that if someone wished to smoke at an indoor public building, he or she would have to smoke outside at a reasonable distance. This is an issue that's come up in this courtroom and the courtroom of many other counties for a good reason. One way to help Pike County further grow and improve is to better the health of its residents. Clean air is essential and should be a right to everyone. The city of Pikeville has a smoking ban ordinance like the one we are proposing. A study funded by the Kentucky Cancer Consortium recently found that the air in buildings not covered by Pikeville's ordinance to be 6.3 times more polluted than buildings covered by the ordinance. This level of indoor pollution is also about 60% higher than the recommended pollution standard for outdoor air. What this means is that the air inside many of the buildings in Pike County is actually dirtier than the air outside because of secondhand smoke. This ban is not an issue of personal freedom, but one of public health, because poor air quality harms both smokers and non-smokers alike. One job of government, as stated in the preamble to our Constitution, is to promote the general welfare or well-being of its people. Countless studies have shown the negative health impact that smoking has had, not only to the smoker, but also to those who breathe in the secondhand smoke. We are proposing an effective solution that will improve the health of Pike County and still, to a reasonable degree, protect a person's freedom to smoke. My fellow council members, Nora and Vienna, have more on exactly how much harm secondhand smoke can do and how much good this ban could bring to our county.
Gonna have to shorten this. Okay. Family, the #1 priority in the South. So why should we allow a simple family that wants to eat out cancer for a meal or maybe a side of lung disease? Secondhand smoke is a severe health problem. Healthcare costs directly attributed to tobacco are a total of $1.92 billion a year in Kentucky alone. Add that to the $2.79 billion in lost productivity due to early deaths from smoking, and the cost is a $4.7 billion each year. Specifically, secondhand smoke exposure costs the U.S. about $5 billion a year in direct medical costs, Kentucky's annual share of that cost is estimated to be at least $100 million. Let's take the money out of the picture and let's look at it from a health standpoint. 8,900 deaths this year in Kentucky alone are going to be from smoking. 119,000 kids now alive under the age of 18 will ultimately die prematurely from smoking. Kentucky leads the United States in lung disease. Help us make Pike County a smoke-free workplace area. Not only will this increase business, it will help mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters live a long and healthy life. Thank you.
One of the biggest arguments that come with the smoking ban is that it'll be bad for our local businesses. Well, that's not the case. Time and time again, customers have told me from my dad's personal shop that they hate the smell of smoke because when they walk into a restaurant, they don't want to sit there and smell smoke, especially when they're not used to it. And they don't want to leave afterwards and go see their friends and family and have the smell of smoke coming off of their hair and off of their clothes. One study actually said that people don't really care about the secondhand smoking for health reasons, but more so because they don't want to smell like it afterwards. It's a detrimental effect on our local businesses initially, and especially if we want to attract tourists, we really want to appeal to the bigger masses. I mean, for example, if 20% of your population are smokers, and then a whole 80% don't smoke, it makes sense business-wise to appeal to the 80%. We're in business to make money, and this smoking ban has proved to be positive for other counties' economies as well, like such as Fayette County. When they introduced their smoking ban, there was a dramatic increase in business productivity and their economy. This would invigorate our economy, the smoking ban would. I just want to say, judges and magistrates, we are very, very passionate about this smoking ban. We really want to see this happen, and thank you for your time and listening to us.
Thank you very much, and for your comments. And we will discuss this and get back with you all. Thank you.
Yeah. Judge, I would like to make a comment. I want to commend you young people for your dedication, your work, and what you're doing here. But on the same hand, visiting the high schools, I see cigarette butts around the bathrooms and outside. So, you know, let's look there too, okay? I'm with you on banning the smoking in the public places. I really am. Let's start with the high school. And it's high school kids doing it, okay?
Thank you.
I would like to say I thank y'all for coming out tonight. We got a good-looking group of young people there that are our future of Pike County. And, you know, we're just so pleased that you people are taking interest in some important issues. And anything we can do to help you, just call on us.
Thank you very much. I'd like to make a comment. I smoked most of my early life. I quit smoking in December of '74, and I had trouble walking. I work in construction, and back then they didn't know what a water truck was to keep the dust down, and I smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day. So I got so I couldn't walk too good, and I went to Dr. Varney, my doctor, and he checked me out, and he took x-ray of my lungs and showed me a picture of a normal set of lungs and a picture of my lungs. And he said this: you can keep on smoking and live 3 or 4 years, or you can quit and live 10 or 15. And 1974 has been a while ago, hasn't it? Thank you all very much.
Yeah, wise decision.
Is there any other comments? All right. Brian, would you talk about the appointments to the Water Board?
Yes, Judge, thank you. This court wanted to acknowledge that the new 2 appointees to the Mountain Water District Board was announced last week, and the 2 nominees are with us here today. The first one is Michael Blackburn. Stand up there, Mike. Mike has been a resident of Pike County for the past 40 years. He holds a degree from Marshall University in business. He is currently the Director of Land Management for Alpha Natural Resources and Vice President of Lauren Land Company. He's currently President and Board Member of the Pike County Golf Management Corporation and is a registered professional land surveyor and was just recently elected to public office as the Pike County Surveyor. It's Mike Blackburn. The second one is Eddie Hurley. If you don't care, stand up, Eddie. Eddie is a resident of Pike County and a lifelong successful businessman. At present, he's the manager of approximately 10 corporations and president of 9 of them. The businesses ranges from coal mining and processing, oil and gas development, and business properties such as mall development and operations. We're excited that you're all joining the board. We look forward to working with you. If you don't care, maybe say a few words.
Well, I appreciate Judge Deskins having confidence in me to ask me to do this, and I'm just want to do my very best for the people of Pike County. I know the water, I grew up with water that you had to take a bottle of Joy dishwasher liquid to get grease off your hands, so I know how needed water is and sewer in this part of the country, so I just appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie.
I'd like to thank the court for their giving me the opportunity to serve on this board. I look forward to serving with the board members. I got a call from Roy Sayer Friday. He called to congratulate me and welcome me to the board. I know that I know there's a lot of challenges. We're challenged geographically. We've got, I think, 135 lift stations and holding tanks. Nearly, I think Roy told me nearly 9 miles maybe of main line and several thousand feet of connector line. So it's a big system. It's got a lot of challenges, but it is very critical to every one of us here in the county. We have to have water. We have to protect it and make wise choices with the money that we have coming in into the coffers from the sale of the water. So I look forward to the challenge, and again, I appreciate the confidence of the board to nominate me to the position. Thank you.
Hey, Mike, I got a question. When's the next board meeting? Have y'all been told that yet?
I think it is the last Wednesday of the month? Yeah.
Last Wednesday month?
So,
Last Wednesday of the month? Okay.
yeah, we've got planned I guess, sort of a pre-meeting before the first board meeting where we'll spend 3 or 4 hours one evening with the other board members and some of the folks from probably UMG and get familiar with the water system. Thank you.
I'd like to congratulate you and Eddie on your future, and you've got a lot of work cut out for you. You know, we have a lot of challenges over there at Mountain Water, but I'd also like to commend Mountain Water for the fast recovery we had in the past week of getting water back online for people. People would call and you know, a lot of times we don't understand these tanks. If they don't have water in them, you know, we can't get water.
Yeah.
And we were on the far end of the county, so we were the last ones to get it. But, you know, we don't know till we get out there in temperatures that these guys are working in, and we're able to get the water back on as quick as they did. You know, we're fortunate. There's some people that still don't have water in other counties. But we look forward to working with you guys, and I look forward to attending the board meetings. And me and Bob, he's got things started. He got the magistrates, they're talking about us not going to the board meetings. But, you know, last one we went to, we didn't have very good voice there, so I didn't feel welcome. And now I hope that we can go back and take our problems up with you guys every month and see if we can't move this county forward. We've got a lot of challenges out there for you, and you guys just come to the court when you need to, and if you got a problem nowhere, we look forward to also seeing you come here to the court. And we, you know, that shoe fits the other foot too. You know, we haven't seen very many of the water board members at our court meetings. So, you know, if you want to throw a rock, make sure you don't live in a glass house. And thank you.
Thank you. We look forward to getting started. I know Roy touched on the job his guys did, getting the water back on, and you know, just understanding the complexity of that system. You know, they have to charge it and bring it on in sections, and it is it probably comparably. One comment he made that I picked up on was if you compared Pike County's system to the system, say, in Fayette County, we probably have 10 times the the lifting stations, pumps and tanks that they have just because of topography. And, you know, we're challenged with that in road building. You know, we face it every day, but we've survived here for hundreds of years, and we'll just have to keep going forward. Thank you.
Yes, Mike, I would just like to say, I want to commend both of you all for accepting this position, but you better have your sleeves rolled up, because there's a lot of work to be done. But we'll be there with support for you, really. We want this thing to work. That's all we want. We want to provide a service to the people of Pike County that deserve it.
Absolutely.
You know, so, and that's all, but I do want to commend you two for accepting it. I want to commend the judge for his choice. I'm ready to go.
Thank you, Bob.
Mike, I'll just follow up on what Hillman and Bobby said. You know, there's some controversial issues, as we know. We've got a couple, one lawsuit that involves the records of Utility Management Group. And, you know, I want to be clear that, you know, it's taxpayers' money that we're dealing with. And to touch on what Hillman said, we did have, I thought Mountain Water, UMG, did a really good job. I've got City of Pikeville water, and I don't think we actually ever lost water. We got down to a small trickle, but they did a fine job as well. But I hope, you know, to echo what they said, that we can all get along and work together for the people.
Yeah.
That's what matters in the end.
I think they did do a great job in light of what they were facing with the temperatures and the snow. And,
Absolutely.
And you know, I lived there at Meta, and we were same situation you were. We didn't completely lose water. We got down to just a trickle. But when you get out in the county and you think about, and you guys know it probably better than anybody, you start winding up these hollows, and they go and they go and they go. You get down to one lane, and you know they're still going. And by the time you get to the head of it, it's not that far to the top of the hill, and you got to push that water all the way up these hollows. It's a daunting task, and these guys have, you know, they've done well to provide water up to this point. I know we've got issues, but you know I look forward to just getting in there and helping them any way that I can, and to ensure the quality and the quantity of the water is always there. And you know, it's a staple, and we have to have it to build off of.
Well, you know, to touch on what Hillman said earlier, you know, I think there was a quote by one of the former board members that he had never seen any of the magistrates at the water board meetings, which is simply not true. Yeah. You know, and we, although we're not the water board, we do make the appointments, and we like to know where the money's being spent as well, which is, you know, basically the reason that we went, former Magistrate Harris, who's now state representative. And when we get asked questions, you know, it's our duty to try to find out the answers. Mm-hmm. And we didn't get many answers when we were attending those meetings. But I think the judge made two excellent appointments, and I look forward to working with both of you.
Well, again, I appreciate the confidence. I'm sure Eddie feels the same way. We want to get in there and understand the problems they've got. You know, try to understand the business itself, and you know, work to maintain again the quality of the water, the availability of the water. I had a guy tell me just a couple of days ago that he's at the point now where he said when he hears about a storm, he immediately goes to make sure he's got kerosene and, you know, that sort of thing. And he lives over in Bobby's district, and they're prone to go, and they're on a small leg of the water system that has a rather small tank, and their water's prone to go off, their power's prone to go off, and you know, he said he stays on high alert all the time. He said he just can't wait for spring, but we just want to help. Believe
you know,
me.
I'll say this in fairness to the water district and to the city water as well.
Yeah.
It was like every 30 minutes there was a new community whose pipes. It wasn't just Pike County.
No.
It was everywhere, and it was a tremendous problem. And,
up through Kanawha County, Boone County, they were facing. you know, we probably have, I think Mountain Water has 17,000 customers somewhere about. And I don't know if, certainly all of them weren't without water at one time, but the numbers through Kanawha and Boone County, I mean, far eclipsed the people that were out of water here locally. But again, I thought they did a great job and commend them. I look forward to, I haven't met Roy yet. I don't know if he's probably not here. I talked to him last night, and he was actually in the emergency room when I talked to him. So hopefully he's doing okay. But you know, he gave me a pretty good report on what they've been through, and again, I commend them. I think they did a great job.
Mike, I'd like also to put something in your mind to think about. You know, when Judge Rutherford was here, we talked about this water monitoring. We were getting letters from Mountain Water saying our waters could have contamination in it and it could cause different problems. And I asked him, you know, at one point, could the court maybe look at having an outside firm come in and test our water to see what our people are really drinking? And, you know, I want you guys to look into that when you get in there and see if you could maybe test it more frequent and find out what we need to do to clean our water up. And another thing is we sometimes don't get an alert that we're on a board water advisory until it's lifted. Yeah. And, you know, we'd ask to maybe have a one-call system to where they could make a phone call and alert everybody in that area that the water has got a problem with it, and we need to look at it. But just some things that y'all might want to talk about and see what you can do to help it. And, you know, we are fortunate to have electricity this past week. You know, I melted snow water and used it. Our water was off from Sunday to Friday. And, you know, they can talk about the hill people all they want to, but we know how to survive. And
pretty resourceful. Glad to have the snow, weren't you?
Yeah. But, you know, God has blessed us in many ways. He gave us a good place to sleep at night and food to eat, and people that know how to handle situations like this. You know, Doug, I know you were in a water, I guess you dreamed about water every night. You've seen so much of it, and we want to thank you for being able to communicate with other counties in this county and get people good drinking water. And I know you had a hard job, and all the people that helped you, we want to commend them and thank them. I know Brian was instrumental in helping you get this stuff delivered out through the county, and all your workers. And I hate to name names, we'll leave somebody out, but you know, you guys have got a good job to look into and a lot of work to do, and we're behind you, like Bob said. And I know the judge is. We want to get this mess cleaned up and get it going.
All right, well, thank you, Hillman, and we'll certainly call on you guys. Look forward to seeing you there at the meetings, and we'll roll our sleeves up and get busy.
I just want to say, Mike, to you and Eddie, this court's here for you, not just you all, but the rest of the board members as well. When you get back, if we can do anything at all, please contact us. We're glad to have you.
All right. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Mike, I would like to thank you and Eddie for your effort to help Pike County. I appreciate both of you, and I thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Still keep the water off the golf course, so
Yeah.
you know that. It don't.
Yeah, water everywhere.
Yeah,
Where we
yeah.
need it.
Water's good, but on the golf course, it's bad.
That's right. Thank you.
Next on the docket, acknowledged receipt of the Pike County Sheriff's audit for the year ending December the 31st, 2013. Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson, Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Dodson,
Yes.
Mr. Varney,
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. Again,
Judge, I'd like for the court to be noted that for the 2013 year ending, that the sheriff had a $439,043 deficit. Started out as a deficit of $244,688, and basically almost doubled in that fiscal year. So just letting y'all be aware that probably the 2014 year audit ending will not be any better.
I got a question, Chandra.
John, I've
What
got a
happens at
question.
that
What happens in this situation? You know, I've not experienced it.
I think that is something you'll have to defer, I'll have to defer to your assistant county attorney, who I think has been looking into things to see what, if possible, in conversation, people's come up and asked what happens if there's a deficit whenever a sheriff goes out.
At state, some county?
I think you're talking about in the sheriff's accounts?
Yeah.
The Department of Revenue with the state will take that up with the sheriff's department. It's not up to this court. You might remember years ago, Magistrate Dodson, right in this courtroom, I remember as a young lawyer watching a trial against Sheriff Fuzzy Kazee, where I think there was something like $200,000 or $300,000 shortage, and the state was trying to recover that. And after a couple of false starts, Judge, with the jury selection, I think they finally found a jury that was satisfactory to all, and they came back and found the sheriff didn't owe anything. The joke is that they came back and said the state owed the sheriff $200,000.
Again, acknowledge the receipt of the Pike County Sheriff's audit for settlement of 2013 coal taxes for the period August 6, 2013 through July 14, 2014. Motion?
Motion to acknowledge.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson, Mr. Murphy, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Murphy, Mr. Dodson,
Yes.
Mr. Barney,
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes.
No, we didn't order. See?
I need authorization for the Pike County Road Commissioner to approve applications for pipeline permits crossing Pike County roads.
Judge, if I may comment on that just briefly, the road commissioner, Mr. Smith, called me. He had 2 applications for pipeline permits filed with his office, and this is something that has been routinely done over the years. I've reviewed both of the applications for pipeline permits. They do have safeguards in there for the county roads that they'll be restored. And what this pertains to are pipelines that need to cross. These 2 permits, one of them is on the Meat House Fork of Big Creek, and one of them is up in the Shelby Yard at Shelbyana. And the applications are in good form. The county is adequately protected. But apparently the road commissioner just been signing these without any authorization, any review by the county attorney's office or anything else in the past. And I just felt like that, I didn't feel like, I knew that as a matter of law, no employee of this court can bind this court unless the court authorizes that employee to bind the court. And so what I've asked that this be put on the agenda simply for the court to vote to authorize the Pike County Road Commissioner to approve these applications for pipeline permits upon first being approved by the county attorney's office.
Thank you.
And that'll require a motion, a second, a majority vote, Judge.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes.
I would like to add to that, Jackie Darrell, when we have one in my district notify me or my road foreman one, and I know you've done that in the past, but I just want to put that on there, okay?
All right. First reading of the proposed ordinance, amending Pike County Administrative Code Section 4624 and Section 4645, clarifying employees' rights to accrual of continued benefits while on family medical leave.
Judge, if I may, at the last meeting of this court, there was a first reading of a proposed amendment to the Pike County Administrative Code, which would provide that family medical leave pursuant to the Federal Act would be taken at the same time as the onset of work-related disability leave and approved sick leave. This was to keep employees from double dipping, taking all their disability leave or sick leave and then tacking on the 12 weeks of family medical leave on the end. That is set on the agenda for a second reading this evening. However, due to an advertising problem, we couldn't get the 7 days in, and I'm going to ask that that be passed. However, I did want to go ahead and read, have a first reading in summary form of the amendments that you've referred to 464, Section 464.5 of the code, and Section 462.4 of the code. And what these two amendments do is simply bring everything in line and make them consistent, Judge. Federal Family Medical Leave Act is very specific in what it requires, and when we award that to an employee, as we contemplate doing, assuming at the next meeting all this is approved, we have to continue employee benefits during the 12 weeks of family medical leave. That is, those employee benefits which normally accrue to employees. We cannot cut them off. Under our present code, those benefits do not continue to accrue. That does not include pay, Judge. That's the vacation benefits, sick time, and that sort of thing. And so what all this is doing, in summary, Judge, is just bringing our code into compliance with and consistent with FMLA, the Federal Family Medical Leave Act. And so that is, Judge, an explanation. What we've done is simply provide in those two sections that once an employee is designated as being on family medical leave, that employee shall continue to accrue the benefits to which the employee is otherwise entitled during the time the employee is designated as being on family medical leave, not to exceed the 12 weeks authorized by family medical leave. That happens with both with regard to the job-related disability leave and the sick leave. Judge, that is a first reading of those two proposed amendments to the Pike County Administrative Code and requires no further action at this time.
I need a motion to adopt the ordinance amending the Pike County Administrative Code. A motion?
Judge, we, on those, that's a first reading and we don't need any action on those at this time. We will have the second reading at the next meeting of that, as well as, Judge, the item that's on the amendment, of Section 465. That was on the agenda for a second reading, but we only had the advertisement on Saturday, and we need to pass over that to the next meeting also, and that will take care of all of that that's related to family medical leave that's on the agenda. Judge, there, if I may, just to expedite things, we all want to get out of here so UK play at 9 o'clock. If I may, I'll move along to the one item that caused a bit of confusion last week as to what it was. This is an amendment that Magistrate Hillman Dotson had asked me to prepare because of concern of his employees, and if I may, I would ask Magistrate Dotson, Judge, with your permission, to comment on the purpose of this amendment, and then I'll read it to him in summary form.
Judge, this is a item that we talked about in the last court meeting. It's the first reading of the proposed ordinance of the Administrative Code, Section 462.2b, where sick leave, allowing an employee to present a doctor's release when he comes to the back to work, and in our administrative code, it don't cover our physician's assistants or nurse practitioners, and it was causing our employees a great deal of problem when they were off sick because our code didn't recognize them people as their physicians. And I had talked to some of the nurse practitioners, and they would like to see this cleared up in the court, and I think John Doug is working to get this done, and this is our first reading of it. This will clear up a lot of the problems, and it will give the physician's assistants or the nurse practitioner the same right to sign the medical leave as a doctor. See, when we had our administrative code written up, we probably didn't have physician assistants or nurse practitioners like we do today. And we appreciate you and the court taking this into consideration, and John Doug working on it, and maybe we'll get this resolved.
Magistrate Dodson, this code provision was passed in 1995, and I guarantee you we didn't recognize physicians, assistants, and nurse practitioners at that time. The first reading of the ordinance of amendment to Administrative Code Section 462 2B, I'll just read it in the way that it will be written if the court chooses to adopt this amendment. It will read as follows: present proof he/she was ill and under a doctor's, physician assistant's, or nurse practitioner's care, and in the doctor's, physician assistant's, or nurse practitioner's opinion, unable to work for the entire period of time, including the first 3 days that are unpaid. This opinion must identify specific periods of time from one doctor's, physician assistant's, or nurse practitioner's appointment to the next. In other words, Judge, it can't be open-ended. Employee must report to the main office the date of the next visit and submit a new excuse within 24 hours after a doctor's, physician assistant's, or nurse practitioner's visit. Failure to provide this information will result in termination of benefits. Judge, that is a first reading of this amendment and requires no further action of the court at this time.
Thank you, John Doug. Magistrate's road work, I need a motion to accept magistrate's road work.
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskin?
Yes. Magistrate's comments.
Judge, one thing, I've got 2 roads I need to turn in to be adopted into the county road system. And real quickly, I was going to maybe get an update from Doug on the latest weather forecast.
I left each of you a copy of the weather forecast
Oh, is that it?
with you. Looking at rain beginning sometime overnight, running through tomorrow, and changing to snow tomorrow evening, running snow, freezing rain and sleet into Thursday morning before it tapers off. Accumulations of snow, about 3 to 5, maybe 7 inches. 1/10 of an inch.
Other than that, it'll be fine?
Other than that, we'll be fine.
Okay. Hey, Doug, if you could you give us just a kind of a brief rundown of what you all did during the last storm, as far as how many counties we served and all the distribution you all did?
All in all, we dispersed over 53,000 cases of water. 46% of that water was dispersed around Pike County to our distribution points. The remainder went to 14 other counties.
Yeah, I once again, I know we've thanked you, but I don't think we can thank you enough. I know I appreciate everything you all do.
You're welcome.
And all the, I'm like Hill, when you start naming names, you're gonna leave somebody out, but I think everybody did a really, just a fantastic job of doing what we should do and get paid to do, and I think everybody is thankful. I know I am. That's all I have, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Leo, we have a motion.
Yes, I just want to continue thanking everybody, all of our road crews and things that work diligently, night and day, big time. And for Doug and all that distribution, I went down to Feds Creek and helped them a little bit on giving out the water and stuff. Mountain Water for getting us back online pretty quickly at most places. So everybody has worked hard, and I want to congratulate them and thank them for it.
Hillman?
Judge, just got a few things. I don't know how to go about this, but, you know, with my new area that I have picked up since January 1, we've got 325 roads to take care of. And I'm begging and pleading if anybody knows any solution or any way that we can help get these people better service. You know, we're doing the best we can with what men we have. And I'm hoping that the court can come up with something to get me some relief. You know, I'm not saying we can't do it, but we can give better service if we had a couple more men and a little more resources. Time we go from one end of the county to the other, you got people that's going to be first and some's going to be last like anywhere else. But if we just had some assistance, and I don't know how we're going to do it, but on snow days or times when we have to remove the snow, you know, Bobby, we have one of your employees that helped us some last week, and they trained him up on the roads that he was supposed to take care of, and I think he's going to be a good resource on some of it. And, you know, if we could just get some of the solid waste people, Bobby, to help us when we have these storms. It sounds like, Doug, we're getting ready to get into another one this week. And I just want to let the people know in District 5 that it wasn't my choice. It was the choice that was handed down by the legislators to redistrict every 10 years according to the amount of people that we represent. And I'm hoping, and I would like to see somebody introduce some law that it would divide it up with the road miles instead of the people. And it would kind of make things a little more even on maintaining our work. And I know these other magistrates got big areas that they take care of, and they're doing all they can do, but I'm just hoping that we can come up with some kind of solution to where we can help get better and faster services when the bad weather comes. And I'm sure we'll be talking about it as we go on. And another thing, I've had some calls on our four-wheeler ATV trails and our water trails wanting to get you to appoint a committee. Judge Rutherford was working on that right at the end of his term, and he was wanting to appoint a committee to represent the ATV and horse trails and the water trails. And I think it's important that we look at it for our tourism end of it. And I know the city of Pikeville here are jumping leaps and bounds. They've started a lot of things to get people in here, and you know, we just need to get some things in the county that they can see and do when they get here. So, you know, I just wanted to run that by you, and the committee has asked me to bring it to the front, and they know you're involved, and you and Brian are going to try to help push this thing and see what we get going on.
Thank you, Hillman.
That's all I have, Judge.
We'll look into that. Bobby, you have anything?
I always do, Judge. Let me start off with thanking my road crew, the job that they've done these last 2 weeks, my secretary for the job that she's done, and the guys that work at the county garage. We kind of forget them sometimes. They've done a great job. Doug, your crew, again, you know, thanks from the bottom of my heart. Anything I can ever do. Paul Williamson's crew, that you guys have made it a little spark that makes it kind of worthwhile when you get downtrodden with all this stuff. But last but not least, I want to thank the people of District 6. They have showed some patience and some of that burning desire, as Millard Bevins used to say when he coached basketball. They have showed that will and that fortitude to go forward on this stuff. And yeah, we didn't do everything that we possibly could, Jackie Darrell, but You know, there's some of the things they want done that was illegal, you know. So, but again, I want to thank all the people for the work that they've done and the help. I want to thank you, Judge, for your support. Brian, everything that you've done. John Doug Hayes, you know, the whole thing. And it takes all of us to do this. Now, getting to my litter problem that we have, the snow is melted away, and that garbage is still in them ditch lines.
Oh, it looks bad, don't it?
And it looks bad. It really does. But we've got some groups in District 6 that's doing a great job. I'd like to recognize the Hardy Church of Christ and the Walmart store there. We've got, at our Walmart store, we've got a manager there that'll send employees out while they're working to pick up garbage in the parking lot. And, you know, I really commend him for that. And we've got some great people that's doing some great job. It's not everybody that litters, but them few that's doing it, man, they're making us look bad. And we're going to work on that. We really are. That's all I got, Judge.
Thank you.
Hillman, I was going to ask Lisa, you've been working on the ATV horse trail last little bit. Do you have an update that you could share? If you don't care, can you come up and speak in the mic so we can hear?
Yeah.
Didn't mean to call you out, but
That's
I know
all
you've been
right.
working on it, Lisa.
That's okay. Yes, we have been actually with Magistrate Varney and looking at it was a 2008 project that was the Tug River project. I met with Sandy Runyon and her staff to where we can bring that project into existence and to revisit it this year. So as soon as I have an update, we'll put a committee together and be working on that one to hopefully bring something to life with that project.
Okay. Anything? Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. Next, we need to go into executive session. Bobby Varney, will you read the KRS?
Sure will, Judge. I make a motion that we go into executive session according to KRS 61.810, paragraphs C and F, pending litigation and personnel. Second.
Thank you. Court come to order.
Do I? Yeah. Hey, Russell, want to come up and address the court?
Not that often do you see me standing here, but I've got an issue that we need to address. For 12 years, I've worked on a budget of pretty low. And I've got out of 4 vehicles, I've got 3 that's down. The budget that I'm working under is probably when we just have 1 vehicle. When I took this, started in the coroner's office in 1985, we furnished our own vehicles. Paul Patton come along, he bought us a vehicle to ride. Now, with your all's help, we're at 4 vehicles in the coroner's office. I've got 3 down. I've got 1, my personal vehicle, that I've had an accident with. Mother Nature kind of wiped out the passenger side of it. A tree has fallen on this vehicle. And I have 2 estimates on this vehicle. Our deduction is $2,500 from what I understand. It's not in my budget to fix this vehicle. The vehicle I have sitting at the county garage, I don't think there's money in the budget to fix it. It's got a head gasket blown. It's a 2002 Dodge. And then I've got a Ford, which is the first van that was ever bought for the coroner's office, sitting in my driveway at my location that they've worked on it, but they've not got it to where it's operable. And I need help that has to come from this fiscal court to get me back on the road.
Russell, did you say you had an accident in your personal vehicle?
No, and it belongs to the fiscal court. It's the 2012 Toyota Sienna van that Fiscal Court bought me in 2012.
I misunderstood you. I thought you said
No,
your
not my
personal.
personal. I said we used to have our personal vehicles prior to Pat and buying our first ones.
But you've had it estimated?
Yes, I have.
And Jonda, have we been in contact with Keiko, or has anybody been in contact with you?
There's a 2,500, we've already paid for this one in February for the one that the deer hit.
This one here, I believe you said a tree hit.
A tree fell off.
I haven't, Brenda's the one who handles those claims.
Brenda has my claims and she has my estimates and things. What I need to know is how are we going to come up with the money, or what are y'all going to do about getting it fixed? The windshield's busted in it. Not only that, the passenger's mirror's off from it. It's not safe to be driving and trying to get over to the other side unless you look around backwards. So,
me personally, I know you've got to have a vehicle, and I know the court knows you've got to have a vehicle. But, Jonda, do we have any money that we can help relieve some of the problems on this vehicle?
How much is this one going to be, Brenda?
one of my estimates, Miss Billiter, is Harris Body Shop is $46.50.69. Walters Toyota or Walters Ford, whatever, is $5,394.21.
It don't take much to get that much damage on one. What is it, your door and your fender? Or?
It's the top also. There's some damage to the top, the hood.
Well, it looked like it totaled it out if it's got that kind of
It's
damage.
not that, no, it's a 2012, so no, that van was like $20-some thousand. No, it wouldn't total it, $5,000 wouldn't total it out.
When did this accident happen?
February the 1st.
February 1st.
At 3 o'clock in the morning. It was a rainstorm, wind blowing, and the tree came over on top of me. It was really and truly, you'd had to been there to see it.
But we're looking at what, the $2,500 deductible, right? What we would.
Well, we've already paid 24
Yes.
something, the last court meeting when we approved bills,
Yes.
that I had to move money into for him. So this is an additional
This is an
one.
additional one.
The other one was when that deer hit you, wasn't it?
No, the deer was in 2012.
That's what Brenda told me.
No, it was black ice that caused my accident.
Black ice.
And put me into some bushes and everything. It was the total on hit was $2,400, 23 something. You've got 4 vehicles out there, and things has changed in the coroner's office. A lot of y'all are not aware of it. We're out 24 hours a day, 9 times out of 10. Someone is out on a coroner call. Anything happens in that hospital over there less than 24 hours, the coroner's call. Anytime someone comes into that ER over there, anytime, the coroner's call. Someone dies on the operating table there, no matter what they're doing, if it's a simple procedure, the coroner is called. We make all house calls, whether it be natural death or whatever, except for hospice patients. So we're out all hours of the night, all type of weather. This last storms that we went through, I've worked every day, even in 16 inches of snow, that van was on the road.
Russell, I understand, and you do a good job. But, we also have other vehicles, the reason we understand it's in this storm and in this work-related situation. And the reason, I guess, we have to pay such a high amount of insurance is due to so many accidents we're having. Is that right, Jonda?
Yeah, we were trying to keep the premium down and thought we could hedge our bets by paying the higher deductible with getting a lower premium for that money to be used to offset the $2,500, and it wouldn't be, because we used to have a $1,000 deductible, and now we've gone to the $2,500. Was it $1,000 or $500?
Brenda, which is the best, the way we're going now or the way we was? I mean, have you waived everything out?
You don't know what the premium is.
Chuck and Joe are working on the renewal, and I can get them to see how we fared with what we'd have to pay versus what our premium was whenever the renewal comes up for July 1.
July.
Johnny, do you see any way we can maybe find some money to help him get back on the road?
Is it a possibility to get both these vehicles back on the road? The one that's at the
You've already
county
had the one
garage?
paid for.
The county garage,
You've already had the one paid for on the ice.
yes. Yes, I'm talking about this one that the tree has hit and the one sitting at the county garage.
With the
Well, I've
blown
been
head
hit with
gasket.
wanting 2 vehicles prior to this, so
What was the estimate on the one in the garage?
They didn't give me an estimate on it. So sitting over at the Pike County garage with a head gasket blown.
Is that the 2002 model?
2002 Dodge.
Well, that's what we have at Dodge, if we've not sold it, that you had out back. Was that motor any good in hit? It's about that year, wasn't it? The one that the deer hit?
It was a 2001 maybe.
I think we bought it back, the court did, and it's sitting over at the maintenance garage, and I just wondered
Same engine.
if they could take that engine out and put it in this other one.
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
not a
either.
mechanic.
You know.
Yeah. Let's talk to Jeff here.
Was it a pretty good running,
It was a good
van?
running vehicle when I wrecked it.
All right, Russell, we'll move forward and we'll look and see what we can do and we'll get back with you. Okay?
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
But I guess, Brian, what he's wanting to know is what we're gonna do for the Toyota right now, ain't it?
Yeah, I would like to know. I mean,
It's not drivable.
it is drivable. I didn't say it wasn't drivable. It just needs the windshield and things replaced in it and the parts put back on it to make it safe and on the road. Because
So you can drive
this
it
is
while
the vehicle that takes our loved ones back to Frankfurt for autopsies and things. I drive it, but when it comes time to take a body to Frankfurt or something, Hillman, that's the vehicle that goes.
You know, I'm not against, I'd like to buy you 2 or 3 brand new ones, but, you know, I've got to look at this lady over here, and the court does, to find out where the money is to do that. And maybe we've got a budget coming up here
That's the reason I'm here.
in a few days, and maybe, you know, we can, if we get some cold severance money back, you know, which we have lost, and don't look like we're going to get it back unless we do an appeal on it, and
I would like to see a budget that the coroner budgeted for before it's voted on, because I'd like to see that.
well,
I've
no,
never saw one.
you know, you're welcome in the past and in the
I've given
future.
you copies of it before,
I see it, but it's after the fact.
and it's usually adequate enough to cover what you've done the previous year also. This court works under constraints, and you're still working with one extra coroner that shouldn't be paid too, so, because the law says 3 coroners, 1 for every 25,000 and fraction thereof, and you're being paid for 4 coroners.
No, any of them you want to cut off, that's fine with me.
We paid a rent for you. I mean, we've paid some money out, but that money was going to help finance this whole fiscal court budget too. Whenever those things were alleviated.
It seems as if every time I come here, it's something that the coroner's office done instead of something trying to help the coroner's office.
Russell, you're invited to our open workshops on our budgets, I guess, you know. I guess the judge is gonna have an open workshop like we always did. Work session, yeah. And, you know, you're open to come. Are you out of the building across the street now over
I'm up on 4th floor now.
here? So that should save you some money on your next budget, right?
I've been up there over a year.
The rent was taken out of it in order to help us make our budget.
But I think, you know, everybody's in agreement. We want to see you get what you need, but we got to find a way to do it.
What's the total price, Russell?
2,500 for
That's
the
it?
deductible. Yeah. I'll get with John tomorrow and and maybe get Brenda involved and the judge, and we'll see what we can do with the 2,500.
Can we go ahead and just approve if they can find the money and get that done?
That'd be
Just
good.
on contingent on, yeah, okay, yeah. if we-
Brian, you know, if we can't find the money, John, if other magistrates would agree on it, maybe we can take a few $100s apiece of our road fund or something to help get this vehicle on the road. I don't know, it's just a suggestion.
There's money in line items. Do you all want to tap into those? But the caution is when we start spending from those monies that have been held back to make the coal and mineral that may be short coming in this year, that's going to short us on our budget making next year. That is the only reason. Yes, I understand we have money, and the previous judge I couldn't get to understand that we do have money, but we have lived on the drug money for the last 6 and 7 months because the cash was not coming in. If it wasn't for that 2.4 having been set back by you all, we would have been borrowing money to make bills because the majority of our money has come in here these last 6 months. I'm trying to get everything caught back up and try and do a projection to see what by June 30th we are going to have left, because I'm afraid we're going to have a tough time with the budget.
We can just spend that money one time, can't we, John?
John, you know, I understand it's an emergency he's got, and, you know, a few
You know,
months
whatever, if
a
you
few
all
months
want
ago,
me to
we-
take money from that, I don't care a bit to, but it's up to your all's direction.
A few months ago, we had the same discussion on buying solid waste trucks, and we knew we were going to be in a money crunch. And I don't know what we're going to be able to do to get out of it. But, you know, Russell he got an emergency. And, you know, we probably have already got the 2,500, ain't we, Brenda, from the insurance company? Oh, no, I've got to turn it in. So it's not been turned in yet.
The only thing they're going to send us is for what's above and beyond the 2,500, and then the rest we'll have to pay.
If we can, I'll just go ahead and make a motion if we don't have the money, if they can't come up with it. I mean, if it's okay, they're the magistrates, we'll take $200 or $300. Yeah, I know.
And record bills.
I think, are we going to get, where some of that stuff may be reimbursed by FEMA, mightn't it? Possibly.
If there's a federal declaration, which we've not heard if there's a federal declaration.
Big if.
So more than likely, we're not going to get a federal declaration.
$400.
Okay.
It'd be $400 per road crew, Jeff, to cover 25.
If you all want me to take it out of that reserve for emergencies for transfer only, I don't care a bit to take it out of that, because there's some magistrates' accounts that are going to be in problems before June 30th with all the salt problems and stuff we've had this year.
Well, you just need a motion out of the reserve, the emergency reserve fund?
If that's what you all want to do, I can't make the motion. You all have to.
We'll let you make one if you want to. Yeah. Okay. What do y'all want to do?
Sound like you're going to have to wait a few weeks before she gets it turned in and gets a report back before you.
Well, no, the deductible's going to be the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
It ain't going to change.
But I mean, though, it's no big hurry for the money because he can't do anything till she gets.
Maybe we could, in our next budget, maybe I could buy me a vehicle and y'all lease that vehicle from me.
We can't do that with personal equipment.
Jeff,
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
do you make a motion?
Yeah, is the emergency reserve fund be the appropriate
I need a
fund?
second.
Okay.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Will you state your motion, Jeff?
$2,500? $2,500? Is that the amount?
What the
Yeah.
deductible was, yes.
You care to restate your
I'll
motion?
make a motion that we pay the deductible out of the emergency reserve fund, $2,500.
Okay.
You second.
We have a motion and second. Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Dotson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
Appreciate it.
That's a start.
Thank you very much. Brian, you have the personnel following recommendations.
Yes. First, like to acknowledge the resignation of Kevin T. Cheney, effective February 13, 2015. He was a temp employee. He just resigned. Last fiscal court meeting, the court voted on opening Grants Branch Park on March 1st of this year. And the seasonal employees there is going to be Ryan Ward and Lester Stanley, and they're going to come in at a 2H rate of pay. And the custodian and CDL driver at the Belfry Courthouse it was awarded to Frank Sullivan, effective March 9th, which you'll start on the next Monday coming on March 9th. And that's all I got, Judge, on personnel.
These are my recommendations and my motion. Need a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
I do want to comment that was at a 2H rate of pay.
Yes, 2H rate of pay.
Okay, yeah, yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. The treasurer's business.
Authorize any necessary transfers and interfund transfers to pay the bills, payroll, health, and life insurance.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
Authorize the registration fee of $295 and lodging for those who wish to attend the Kentucky Magistrates and Commissioners Association, KMCA Annual Spring Conference, April 10th through the 12th, 2015, at the Marriott Louisville, downtown Louisville, Kentucky.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
Authorize registration and lodging for Bobby Mullins to attend the Solid Waste Coordinators of Kentucky, SWAC, April 2015 meeting at the Comfort Suites in Newport, Kentucky, April 8th through the 10th of 2015. I believe, I think they first said 9th through the 11th, and then they come back with 8th through the 10th. But one of those scenarios on that.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
Authorize the following checks in the amounts of: to Frank K. Nall, PSC, pass-through NRCS funds when received on closing, recording fees, and title insurance premium for William L. Ireson, Jr. in the amount of $1,800. Frank K. Nall, PSC, pass-through NRCS funds when received on Pike County FPE application for Brenda Guzlin, $800. Advanced Environmental Management Group, pass-through NRCS funds for the environmental database search for potential NRCS easement acquisitions for Brenda Guzlin, FPE, Pike County, $750.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson? Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
And Judge, as I walked into the meeting, you had mentioned to me about CJ and Doug over the snows having, I guess, finished off their vehicles pretty much. We've been talking some scenarios and some things to try and see. It's up to the court if you all want to try and do anything. Doug does have $39,000 and some left in a line item that he had for coal severance of $75,000. I need to make sure with Amy tomorrow that he can use. Lisa has mentioned that maybe she can get a $10,000 grant from Kentucky Colonels. Then, if the fiscal court can come with about $16,000, and then the wireless board and the 911 board, they're wanting to purchase 2 vehicles, one for Doug and one for CJ. What's the court's pleasure?
Well, here I go again. We just went through the same problem about 5 minutes
what I
ago.
said.
We argued about 20 minutes on how we're going to pay $2,500 for a repair. What are we going to do now?
How much does he have? 39,000?
It's got $39,599 left in a line item, and it says it's not limited to some things that he's done, and one thing he didn't know anything about. So I'm going to call Amy tomorrow and see if he can use some of that money for that, which I think he can, because that was the intent when the money was first gotten. And Judge Rutherford had them to put in there about the move to get it covered, so the county wouldn't be paying that much.
What's approximately the cost of these two vehicles together?
CJ said one was 48 and one's 51 for 99,000, and they've not had vehicles since Karen Gibson was judge.
They're 12 years old. The vehicles are 12 years old.
I mean, what we buy for $51,000?
Two Ford.
What are they, Doug?
They're Ford F-350s extra heavy duty, because we've got some trailers that we have to pull, and the biggest trailer we've got weighs 12,000 pounds. It's 39 feet long.
Doug, we just got, I don't see Frankie here, but we just bought a
Frankie had
3500
hurt
series.
his ankle and couldn't make it today. He was just coming back from Huntington. It's
3500
not broken.
series Chevrolet for around $32,000. And then they also said they're four-wheel drives, and they said they had dualies at that same price. They're four-door dualies.
We can't use dualies because of the
Well,
tire
the
size
one
we
that
go to.
the one he ordered for the road department was a 3500 series, 3/4 ton, and I think it was in the.
These are ton trucks.
Huh?
These are 1-ton trucks.
Full one time.
Yeah, turn your mic
Dual
on,
wheels.
Bobby. Is it?
Well, that's what Chick just got the other day. He got a dually ton truck for $31,000 or $32,000 Chevrolets. That was a state price contract.
That's what they've all been running, I think. Leo got one this year, did you? Or was that Kenneth? Kenneth got one. They've been about 32, 33, what Frankie's been getting this year, that they've taken out of their magistrate's accounts.
What's the difference in the trucks they bought to the trucks you're wanting, Doug?
Well, I haven't seen the trucks that they bought, but the ones we're looking at have the Class 5 reese hitches on them for the towing packages with the trailers, and they're extra heavy duty to handle the load that we pull those trailers.
Doug, I'm sure that's what Frankie ordered. They got the snowplow package on them with the spray in bed liners, and they're extra heavy duty gasoline motors, which our guy over at the shop said he would recommend us start buying gasoline motors. They're a lot easier to maintain, and they're better. With this new pollution control stuff they got on their diesels, we're having a lot of trouble out of it. The only thing is, Doug, I know y'all need a truck and y'all do a super job, but if we could save $20-some thousand on a vehicle, Ford or a Chevrolet, and it does the same job, then we need to do that, because our money, just like we just been going through, is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Can we look at just buying one vehicle right now and then seeing what we, you're going to check and see how much money he can use out of that 39,000, right?
I think I can use it all. I just want to get verification
Yeah.
from DLG that is applicable according to the MOA, that I don't jeopardize our funds. But that was the first intent, was to use it to get that for CJ and Doug. And then other things came into play, and that was for $175,000. They had another $75,000 that was prioritized way down on the list that didn't get to come up. So they had like $150,000 they were wanting for stuff at the time.
John, to them trucks that we just got ordered, they're four-wheel drives too, aren't they?
I think so.
They're supposed to be four-wheel
Frankie
drive.
would know more than that, but he hurt his ankle, and it's not broken, but he was on his way back from Huntington, so.
I know they sent one over there, and it was a four-door dually with all the stuff on it. And Jeff Justice called and told them, y'all sent the wrong truck. They said, well, that's the same price for that four-door dually as if you got a extended cab truck. So, you know, I thought that would be a super good deal for
These
you.
were crew cabs, I believe.
They're
Crew
4 doors,
cabs.
then?
4 doors.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something that y'all could use, a dually to pull you big trailers and
No,
things?
the dually, going to tower sites, Hillman, we can't get dualies up to those tower sites. And we've got 6 tower sites we service, 7 tower sites.
You know, even on the dually that he's talking about, the wheels stick out 6 inches wider on each side than the snow blade does. I don't know how we're gonna push any snow that thing.
Well, I didn't order one, but I think Chick ended up getting one. The one that they're sending for my road crew is a 3,500, 3/4 ton single.
We gotta have a ton truck for those trailers. It just, 3/4 ton won't handle them.
Yes, yeah.
Well, is the ton got dual wheels on it?
No, they're single wheels.
These
on the
might
rear.
be, I don't know, the 3,500 series. I don't know if they're a ton or 3. I mean, the ones you got ordered, are they a 3/4 or a ton? I don't know, but sound like we got a pretty good deal on them with Frankie going through the state price.
These were state price contract.
You must have got an awful lot of extras on them or something.
I don't remember what all he quoted on those trucks.
$51,000, that's.
I had the frame strengthened on them.
Frame strengthened.
Strengthened.
Because we bent the frame on the one I'm driving now. We've had it straightened once, and I plated the frame on it after it was straightened to try to keep it from bending again. It bends them up from the weight of the trailers that will pull. It bends them up in the center. I think right now, the thing that you find out is
John, to find out if she can use out $39,000. That's the thing to find out right now.
how quick about the grants? How quick do they come in? Some's been pretty quick, ain't they? So can we regroup and meet maybe this week and look and
Probably
compare and see where we go?
Yeah.
Doug, is the vehicles y'all riding, are they wrecked or are they drivable or just old?
They're old. CJ's truck is about to have a catastrophic engine failure. He's got cracks in the heads where he's putting fuel into the cooling system. And every month or so, he's got to replace the cooling system hoses and the reservoir and all that. It's just a matter of time on it, and mine spends more time with Jeff Justice than it spends with me.
And both of these are 12 years old right now?
Yeah, they're both 03 models.
Well, basically, they're 13 years old, because
13.
Yeah.
if they're 2002, we're into the, you know,
2015.
2015, so they're 13 years old. They were purchased by Judge Gibson. I think Judge Deskins finished signing off on the paperwork whenever he came in.
Can we, like I said, we'll get together on this week and regroup and look and see what you all bought, to what you recommended, and look at the money and see where we go. I think that's the only way out of it here today.
That's what I told them. The court needs to give us the direction. It's nothing that we can do.
Right. Is that fine with you all?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I have no further business, Judge.
Do you have any other?
No, sir.
You're done. Let's see, county attorney's report.
Judge, very quickly, I have a statement to make with regard to the severance tax ruling. I won't take long. I know everybody's in a hurry to leave. The ruling against Pike County and the Franklin Circuit Court appears to be saying that it is constitutional for the legislature to exempt Pike County from an exemption that applies to everyone else. The law simply does not support that conclusion. For example, the court, in its opinion, says plaintiffs have not cited to any cases that stand for the proposition that a law of general applicability is transformed into special legislation where exceptions to the law have been made. However, the Kentucky Constitution says the General Assembly shall not indirectly enact any special or local act by the repeal in part of a general act or by exempting from the operation of a general act any city, town, district, or county. This is exactly what the legislature did to Pike County. From all coal-producing and coal-impacted counties in the Commonwealth, it exempted from the operation of a general act only Pike County. Pike County's position remains that it is unconstitutional to restrict only one county's use of coal severance tax revenue while allowing all other counties flexibility in the use of such funds. We have solid grounds to appeal the ruling in the opinion of this attorney and my co-counsel. The fiscal court, this court, must be guided by what is best for the citizens of Pike County who have pressing needs, many of which we've heard tonight, Judge, pressing needs which cannot be met as long as the use of coal severance tax funds remains unduly restricted. For these reasons, this court has instructed the Pike County Attorney's Office to appeal the decision of the Franklin Circuit Court to the Kentucky Court of Appeals, and we intend to do that in the very near future. Thank you, Judge.
Do we need a motion to approve that? No. Okay, thank you. I got a lot I could say about our money situation. As you know, it seems that how can they take the money away from one coal county in the state of Kentucky and leave the others to go ahead and spend them like they used to? I don't know. But anyway, we'll try to do the best we can with what we got. So I make a motion to adjourn. Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson? Mr. Murphy? Mr. Dotson?
Yes.
Mr. Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.